So this is a bit of a casual one for me today. I wanted to do a proper setup and demonstration, but it's the summer holidays. I've got a school-aged child at home. Mason, my eldest, is 7. He's been at a sports club all day, and my youngest has been at nursery, and normally would come home and then sleep for the afternoon, but seemed to fall asleep in the car for 5 minutes and then decided that that was enough for the rest of the day. So it's one of those days, and I am a mum juggling a business and making content and caring for children. So I'm afraid it's a bit more of a casual one, but it's something that I feel really important, and it's a topic that I feel that I really want to talk about, particularly now as we are in the middle of the summer holidays, and lots of you might be feeling quite similar to me, that it's a juggle and finding the time to do everything can be really tricky. So the other day on Instagram stories, I asked parents in my community who found it hard to play, and a whopping 86% of you said that you found it really hard to get down and play with your children. So I wanted to share that and wanted to reassure you, and if you are feeling like that you are certainly not alone. It is really difficult. It is really hard. I think we almost presume, because we were all children once, that we know how to play with our own children, when actually, in fact, finding the time to play can be difficult, particularly at the moment in the middle of the school holidays. I think sometimes lots of us, something I hear quite regularly in the community is that people find it really hard to be silly, and sort of not be in control and lead in the play. Yeah, I think there are lots and lots of factors, or even just being able to switch off, because I don't know about you, but often I find myself while I'm playing with the kids, I'm busy thinking, yeah, after this, I've got to do this. And once we've done that, I've got to do that. And my mind is completely elsewhere. And I think particularly in the summer holidays, there's that sort of pressure that you need to be making memories and making every day special, make every minute count and all that sort of stuff, which is just additional pressure, isn't it? Great if you have holidays planned, great if you've got days out, good for you, that's awesome. But there may be days as well when you don't have an agenda, or it is like I've had today, of just surviving and getting through the day, juggling work and childcare and children that don't want a nap. So I'm coming on here, I just wanted to share with you some pointers that I always share with the parents in my community who do find it hard to play, because it's not easy, it's not an easy skill. This is something I've had many years of teaching as a early years expert, and being a parent myself. So I know what it's like. I know from experience that it can be hard to even find the time to play in the day. And something we talk about in the hub is about, at the end of the day, it might be like me today, where it's been a juggling act and a survival, a day of surviving rather than thriving. I want you to get to the end of the day and just almost reflect and recap and just think about, I bet there are 3 things you've done, no matter how busy you've been. I bet there are 3 things, or at least one of the 3 things that you have done with your children that will have met their needs. And I bet there's been opportunities for you to look, for you to touch, and for you to talk. And they are 3 really important things that our children need. So look, whether you've been pointing things out, whether you've been in the car and talking about things that you've seen or that you've noticed, or anything like that, that sort of looking and opening your child's eyes to the world around them. You may have had a day where your little one's been in the trolley at the supermarket. Okay, they're running errands with you, or I actually took my toddler to the post office earlier to take our orders. Actually, by doing that, they are watching you as a role model. They're watching you, how you interact with other adults and interact with the world around you. So they're actually learning so much already by watching you, and then absorbing and taking in what is going on around them. So by giving them opportunities just to look, whether it's waiting in the doctor's surgery or doing those mundane errands, your children are still learning so much. And then there's opportunities to touch. So this is maybe when you're getting them dressed in the morning, helping them to get dressed, or maybe you've done bath time and you've been washing them and things, or maybe you've had cuddles, maybe you've had kisses, maybe you have a tiny baby and you've been doing a bit of like baby yoga or baby massage or anything like that. That skin to skin contact is really important. Those kisses and cuddles, those hugs before bed, anything like that where you're snuggled up together is just as important as setting up as a beautiful Pinterest activity and sitting down with them together. So if you've had opportunities to touch with your little ones, that is absolutely fantastic. So we've talked about look, we've talked about touch, and then the final one is opportunities to talk. So maybe as you were cooking dinner and juggling emails and all sorts of other things, you were still asking questions about their day, or you were chatting about what you were making, or you were talking about your day, or over the dinner table, or during bath time, or when as you're putting them into bed and asking them what their favorite part of the day was. All that conversation is super duper important. Those moments when you pick your little one up and you count the stairs and you go up to bed, it is brilliant. So it's those opportunities of talk that are really essential, and our children are learning so much. So please, if you're giving yourself a guilt trip, please try at the end of the day just to reflect and just see, have you had an opportunity to look? Or have you done something to touch? Or have you had an opportunity to talk? And I bet you've done one of those three things. And if so, that is awesome. And you are doing far better than you think you are. And then one of the other things I wanted to talk to you about was that ability to get down on the floor, be silly, and play and lose yourself in play almost. Now, what I always try and suggest to our parents is minimize distraction. So put your phone to the side or turn the TV off, or those sorts of things. I know it's not always easy and it's not always possible to do for whatever reason in a busy family life. But if you can, just minimize those distractions so you've really given your child your attention for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. And this isn't every day. This is just those moments of opportunity to play. Minimize the distractions. And then I know lots of parents find it very hard to get on the floor or be silly or find a play they connect with. And what I always say is you don't need to be good at every type of play. You don't need to be able to do Play-Doh, pretend to play, sports. You don't need to do them all. Our children don't need to do them all. You know, we all have different interests and our children are the same. But I bet there's a type of play from when you were a child that you used to do. And if you introduce it to your little one, it'll bring back all those feelings of nostalgia and will actually bring you back to your like inner child, and will probably help you to relax and go with the flow a bit more, and yeah, sort of feel really playful again, a bit like you did as a child. So for me, mine was shoe shops. It's getting all the shoes out the cupboard, lining them up on the sofa, putting one out the back, so you've always got to go get the other one, haven't you? Putting them out on display, maybe getting some little sticky notes, making like price tags, a little till, which can be a pot of coins, just something as simple as that. I would spend hours and hours doing the shoe shop. I love doing that with my boys now. I do it all the time. If I've ever got a time when I'm tired or they're saying that they're bored and can't think of something to do, I'll invite them to play shoe shops. We'll get the shoes out the cupboard and we'll set it up and we'll have a little play together, and it's absolutely brilliant. So please, if there's something, whether it's like for my husband, it's kicking a ball around the garden, that is, football is his thing, that's where he feels most comfortable playing, and that is what he does. So if you can just find one type of play to engage with your child, it makes it really special. And please don't feel like you should be great at every type of play, because nobody is. So I hope that helps, because summer holidays can be a tricky time. You're looking at social media, you've seen what all the other parents are doing or sharing on social media, and you feel like you should be making all those special moments and making memories and days out. But there are also those days in between when maybe you haven't got an agenda, or like me, it's been thriving rather than surviving. Other way around, we've been surviving rather than thriving. And they're the days that can feel tricky, and maybe where we have a bit more of that self-doubt. But I want to reassure you, like I said, 86% of the parents in my community said that they find it hard to play too. So you're definitely not alone. Please do check out all our other videos on YouTube. We've got lots more going on. This is a casual one this week, purely because I'm trying to fit everything into the day, and now I've got to go start dinner before we start bath and bed and all that sort of stuff. It is baking hot and I'm 6 months pregnant, so it's a real juggle at the minute. But thanks for being here. There will be another video next week coming for you, and do check out our social media pages as well, where you can get loads of dead easy ways to play and activity and ideas for those days that you're trying to keep the kids busy. Hope that helps, and as always, happy playing.